So next concept that I wanted to share with you guys is about authorities. Like, what does it mean to be an authority? And I want to keep it simple. It's really all about your ability to communicate, right? Okay. Based on how a person communicates with you, you can sift through whether or not they really know what they're talking about, right? They're showing you whether they are actually an authority in whatever it is that they're expressing, right? Okay, so it's really 4 levels to this regarding becoming an authority, and I'll tie it up in the end. Watch. So the first level of being an authority regarding communication is sign language. Sign language is the basic way that anyone communicates, right? Like if I do this, you know exactly what that means, right? I didn't have to speak a word. All I did was gave a hand gesture and you knew what I was saying, right? You can even teach a baby sign language right now, right? But then the next stage beyond that is actually what we know as speaking, right? That's the second. Language is the second form of communication. Now, obviously everyone can do language, but it's a little bit harder. Why? Because while a handshake might mean the same thing in different cultures and different regions of the world, language doesn't, right? If you speak one language versus another, it breaks up the barrier of communication, makes it harder for people to understand, right? Well, then there's a third level, and that third level is reading, okay? And that's because reading requires a component in the brain that you actually have to be conscious in understanding what it is that you're reading, right? That takes a whole set of skills that are required to be developed over the course of time. ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, vowels, A-E-I-O-U, A makes the I sound, right? You have to learn all these different skill sets that go along with being able to read. And then not even just read, but you actually then have to be able to understand what it is that you're reading, right? Well, then there's the 4th stage, and the 4th stage is actually where you are doing the writing, right? It's one thing for me to write something out and for you to understand it, but it's another thing for you to write it out from your and take an idea from your mind and put it into another person's. And that's why people who are authors become authorities. Author, authority, you get it? So if you really want to be an authority in something, you find a way to write it out. That's the whole concept behind becoming an authority.